The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
It's 11:06 on WSIC News Radio, and you're listening to We're Just Saying with Senator Vicki Sawyer and David. If you'd like to be part of our show, 844-STUDIO-4. We are streaming live on the WSIC News app. Good morning, Senator Sawyer. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing even better now that I see your T-shirt.
Oh, you like that?
For those of you who are watching online,
Yes, I'll back up so that people can see.
it is a very Reagan-esque
exactly
shirt with his likeness on there, and it says.
For those listening on the radio, it's a very prestigious picture of Reagan, and it says on the shirt, "I smell commies." I felt it was appropriate for today after what happened in New York yesterday.
So you're saying you can smell commies all the way from New York?
All the way from New York.
Oh,
And the stench was ripe yesterday after what happened. Big commies. That's what I smell.
Commies. You mean commies that have infiltrated our judicial system in New York?
Well, they've been there for a while. It's just gotten really bad, I think.
So is the man going to jail?
So here's the thing. So, and obviously, I'm sure everyone listening knows we're talking about the Trump verdict came down yesterday, guilty on all 34 counts in an absolute just sham. And look, I am no Trump apologist. I have had my issues with the former president.
Issues?
I have issues in general. I have had them though with some of the things the former president has said and done and things like that.
Yeah.
Be that as it may, what happened in New York yesterday was an absolute travesty.
Yeah.
No reasonable person can look at that and think that the verdict was fair, that the trial was fair. If you followed it at all, from the judge to the prosecutor to the jury, this state prosecutor brings this charge against Trump. Okay, and bear in mind, he's bringing essentially as an underlying crime, right? He's bringing a federal election. A supposed federal election violation that Trump was never charged with. FEC never charged him with it. And then he also brings it into a business sense of falsifying documents, right? Now, no state prosecutor has ever brought a federal election as an underlying crime or a direct crime, ever. Okay? Because it's a federal election.
Right.
You don't have purview. Did it anyway and applied it in in New York law, and then charged him with basically paying the hush money to the porn star, or adult film star, sorry, but for paying that, and then basically shopped it into the most liberal district in the entire state. Found the most liberal judge humanly possible, who also has a daughter who makes money and profits off bashing Trump. Found easily a sea of liberals to stick on that jury, and then got the underlying. Now this is going to be turned over on appeal. There's no way this stands, but they wanted to be able to say convicted felon Donald Trump. That's ultimately what they want to do. But when you talk about jail time, so all of this together, I was reading, carries with it about a maximum of 4 years in jail.
Okay.
Now bear in mind, I don't think anyone's ever gone to jail for falsifying business records, typically probation, fines, things like that, because all these were misdemeanors that were cobbled together to try to become felonies. And so basically, I honestly think this judge will sentence him to jail. I really do. I think he will sentence him to jail, that Trump will be sent to Rikers or something like that. He will be sent to the work. They might reopen Alcatraz for him, because that's what they're going to do. They are doing their best to just absolutely neutralize him for this election. So I do think it'll happen.
So how epic would that be? I mean, of course, I don't want Trump to go to jail, but just let's jog that path a little bit. Could you imagine Trump in jail? What would he be saying?
I mean, obviously travesty that it is.
Could you imagine him talking to the other inmates?
Yeah.
What are you in for?
What are you doing? I was the greatest felon ever to come into this prison. Other people are saying. I haven't said that. Other people say that. I can say, I'll be the greatest model prisoner ever.
Yes.
But it's funny to kind of think about, but it's a tragedy. It's funny in a tragic sense.
It is. So, I mean, I saw where $34.2 million.
Yes, it's not even been 24 hours since the verdict. Yeah. Crashed 2 websites.
Crashed the website. Heck, I mean, I need to jump on that and help him out too. I mean, the man may be he needs some commissary money or something.
Well, I mean, clearly the way to really get people to dig deep and give is to get convicted of a felony. So you should probably start working on that, because it is election season. You do have to raise money. Maybe we can get you convicted of something.
No.
You don't think it would work that well for you?
No, I'm not that smart. smart or that quick to be able to get out of something like that. I mean, felony too, that's kind of ick.
Yeah. But but
With
that's
speeding, I could do maybe a speeding ticket, but that's not really.
well, yeah.
You
But to be
know.
fair, you have that handy dandy little tag on your car that generally gets you out of stuff
No,
like that,
it
doesn't
does
it?
not. In fact, I think it hurts me. I've gotten more speeding tickets since I have that on my car than I did
Really?
before. Yeah,
Now that's funny.
it is.
Now that's funny. So
It's
you think
terrible.
it's cool to have your little tag on there, but no, you're getting more speeding tickets.
No, especially if you're going down Radar Alley, what we call I-40 in Davie County. So you
Oh
got to
yeah,
be very, very careful there.
you
I,
do.
yeah, but I mean, I take my tickets and I just pay a lawyer to get out of them, and
Get out
you
of 'em.
know, yeah,
Well, and
that's all I
and you're
got.
your own insurance
And
agent,
I
so
did,
obviously, you don't have to worry about your insurance going
I
up.
do. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't?
No, I can't fix my insurance rates to reflect anything. It's not like another because it's all regulated. So I pay the same rate for insurance that well, I don't pay as much as you.
Well, no, you don't have
I don't
the
have
sea of
the
children that I have on my insurance policies and new drivers
with accidents.
with
And,
accidents and when they had their permits and that carried forward points, which I think is a total travesty, by the way.
yeah. You know what I was thinking about and talking to some of my insurance folks. I think I am going to work next session about those insurance points and how to take them
Thank
off
you.
of.
I agree. I
Hmm.
think like if you are riding with an adult and you have your permit and you have an accident,
Hmm.
you are basically under the supervision of an adult
Hmm.
and you have an accident. You're supposed to be learning to drive,
Right.
right? You should not be dinged with, or I should not be
Yeah.
dinged with that on my insurance to pay for that when they're technically learning.
Yeah. Well, so maybe you can bring that back to Trump. I mean, did he get technically dinged on something when he was trying to learn how to pay a porn star to be quiet?
Well, no, and that's the whole thing about it is that there has been no underlying crime proven. The entire case rested on convicted perjurer Michael Cohen,
Yeah.
who on the stand admitted that he hates Trump, has a TikTok channel exclusively devoted to going after Trump.
Sure.
He is a well-known liar, well-known shyster, absolutely just repulsive individual.
Yeah.
The entire case rested on the jury believing him, that what he said was true when he said he was directed to do this by Trump. They even, at one point, he said where he made this phone call to Trump, and basically that's where Trump told him to do it, and they pulled the phone records, and it was a phone call to a Secret Service agent that lasted a minute and a half, and where he was complaining to the Secret Service agent about a 14-year-old who was harassing him online or making prank calls to him. And so, but then it was like, oh, after I've complained about this to the Secret Service agent, let me hand the phone to the president real quick. President, can I pay the porn star with your election money? Yes, do it. Minute and a half. So that's what you're required to believe
Okay.
if you believe that there was an underlying crime.
Okay. So
So-
you obviously don't.
No, I don't. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a law and order guy. If you break the law,
Sure.
there should be consequences, things like that. There was absolutely nothing proven. There was certainly nothing proven beyond a reasonable doubt in this.
Mhm.
But I really do. I think what scares me about this is what people who are cheering this.
Yeah.
You really ought to have a serious thought in your head about this, because if they
Right.
can do this to the president, what can they do to you?
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
That is truly the scary part.
Yeah, but I'll be interested to see what happens at the end of the day. But I think at the end of the day, I think the biggest lesson for Trump coming out of this
Yeah.
is that you don't pay off your political liabilities. You learn from Hillary Clinton and you just get rid of them. Like that is how this should work. You need to learn from the Clintons. You make it go away. You don't pay them off.
Is it Epstein? And...
Yes, Epstein. And he didn't kill himself. And I'll maintain that. But no, that's it. Mr. Trump and future candidates, take a lesson from the Clintons. Say what you want. Their political liabilities just tend to go away. I'm not advocating that. You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
We'll return with more of NC Senator Vicky Sawyer, and We're Just Saying after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, you may be asking yourself, how long can the nice weather, the low humidity, hang around? And the answer is for a couple of more days. Sunshine, low humidity, and upper 70s to enjoy for this afternoon. A clear sky tonight as most of us fall back into the low 50s, especially around the farms and outlying spots. Some of those folks could even see upper 40s by Saturday morning. Sunshine and warming up to 80 for our Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Nina's Boutique.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Alabama's Austin Bohannon plays a local concert tour beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on May 30th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Bohannon then plays Friday on the Birkdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Blankets and chairs are welcome for both Austin Bohannon shows. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks has expanded to Broad Street and Main Street, and this Saturday serves up gourmet fare. Bring chairs, bring friends, and delight in over 15 food trucks from around the area. Listen to live music from Billy Jones and the Pocket, stroll the streets, and shop. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first practice night is on Tuesday, June 4th, with the 10-week series opening night race on June 10th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
It's We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. If you'd like to be part of our show, 844 Studio 4. We are streaming live on the WSIC News app. So moving on, it's still poll season, right?
It is poll season.
Not the Stormy Daniels kind of poll season.
Not the Stormy Daniels.
I'm sorry.
That's just so funny.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're here all hour.
Yeah, exactly. Here, the Cook Political Report, right?
No, so I wanted to have a fun game between you,
okay,
David Coble,
okay,
and engineer extraordinaire Bill. Bill, you ready?
I hope so.
Okay. So let's set it up.
So you said we're having a quiz. What are we getting quizzed on?
Okay, so we're gonna have a quiz, and it's all around these polling numbers.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and you guys give me the answer, and the person who gets the most right wins at the end of the segment.
What do I win?
My love and affection.
Okay, well,
A Sawyer.
what's the runner-up prize?
A Sawyer for North Carolina Senate T-shirt.
I have one of those.
Okay, I don't know.
I do not.
Oh, Bill.
So then Bill. Now, wait a minute. Bill's got computers in front of him. How do I know he's not Googling stuff as you do this?
Bill, how are you going to be honest?
I trust me, I'm not.
Well, my son Andrew is watching
Okay,
today.
yes,
my
we do,
son
yeah.
Andrew,
Okay.
who knows not how to tell a lie, just ask him. And so he is going to be helping.
To make sure.
Bill, Andrew, you make sure Bill doesn't Google.
All right. So the first quiz bowl of political party fun.
Okay.
Let's call that. I need to work on a working title. I got to get a better title. But David and Bill. So what happened? Let me give you a set. There was a poll that just came out. It was actually last month. The Carolina Leadership Coalition and the Carolina Partnership for Reform commissioned a poll with Meeting Street Insights. That's a lot of things, but I want to give them credit for what they've done. And they did a statewide survey of registered voters in North Carolina between April 25th and 28th of this year. They have 500 registered voters with a margin of error of 4.38%. So let's see how close you are to these voters.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. You
Oh,
ready?
boy.
David and Bill, ready? All right. First question. Right before the 2020 election, Joe Biden had a favorable rating of 50%. What do you think that number is today? David.
And this is in North Carolina?
These are North Carolina statewide. Right before the
32%.
Okay, right before the 2020 election, Joe Biden had a favorable rating of 50%. Bill, what do you think that number is today?
I'm going to have to say strategically 45. 40. No, I'm going to go 40%. 40%. Final answer. Final answer.
Final answer? Bill, you're the winner. It is 39%.
Wow. See,
I love it.
Yeah,
You love it?
I'll take it.
I gotta tell you,
said
I'm already
I got it
nervous.
right.
I'm already
Are you
nervous.
nervous? Bill, +1.
Bill, I think, spends a lot of time watching The Price is Right. I kept waiting for him to bet $1. They're going to say it costs $1. All right, next one.
Okay,
All right,
wait.
I got to bring my game
So
here.
Joe Biden has a 20-point unfavorable rating right now in North Carolina, which I would put this question in there specifically because I heard an unsubstantiated rumor. I think
Ooh.
what our rumors coming true that possibly the Dems are going to take him out June 13th
Really?
and then put in another.
I still maintain that's happening.
You still think it is?
I still
Totally
think it is.
unsubstantiated?
Breaking news.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Bill?
but-
You think it's going to happen? Well, I mean, okay. Ready for the next
Yes.
question?
Yes.
All right. David and Bill. We'll go with David first. Actually, we'll do Bill because we did. Well, because we did
It
the
makes
first.
sense. I'm with it.
All right. Okay. In October 2020, Donald Trump had a 46% unfavorable rating. Today, is that number higher or lower? Unfavorable rating. In other words, 46% of the people did not care for Donald Trump in October 2020. Today, is that number higher or lower, Bill?
I believe that number is probably right around the Joe Biden or the number I just said. I'm going to say 40% again, so lower.
Okay. So Bill's in with 40%. David.
I am going to say that his, I would put it, I'm going to say that it is 42%.
So that would be higher.
Yes. Well, no, it'd be.
Today, is that number higher or lower than 46%? And you're saying lower.
Yes.
And Bill, you said lower.
Yes.
And he said 40, I said 42.
Nobody wins that one. It actually is at 59% unfavorable
In
according
North
to this
Carolina?
Really?
Who ran this poll? The New York AG?
I think it's just that people don't like either candidate. It doesn't mean that they're
Sure.
not going to
Well,
vote for
yeah.
him, but his unfavorables, when you hear his name, what do you think? Yes.
Wow. See, I never would have pegged that, especially not
All
North
right.
Carolina.
All right. Bill, you're in the lead with one. That was a push on number 2.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! All right, you ready for the next one?
Bring it.
In February of 2021, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson had only a 7% unfavorable rating. Today, is that number higher or lower? David, you go first this time.
I would say much higher.
Higher.
Yeah.
Bill,
I'm going to go with higher as well.
both score a point. Ding, 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 ding.
Do we get extra credit to who gets the closest one?
Well, you want to guess at what percentage rate? So again,
I
let me
would say
in
his
2021 it was 7%. Today,
30.
I would say
Bill's in at 30.
I would say 35.
Bill is on fire, man. It was 29%.
Wow.
Bill, I'm going to give you a credit.
I'm getting whomped here.
Yeah, he gave me a bonus point.
Yeah, exactly. That's his bonus point. Yeah.
That's a bonus. Okay,
I was the one that brought it
okay.
up.
So we got Bill in the house with 2 and David with 1, right? That's
Okay.
our score right now. All right. Here we go.
No, Bill's got 3
Oh, 3 because you got the
because
bonus.
he got the bonus point.
All right.
See,
love
Bill,
it.
I'm a
6.
good sport.
You are a good sport.
Uh-huh.
I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
that.
And you only
If
have...
my son wasn't here, I never would have done that. But he would have called me on it.
Good example.
He'd have been the one correcting the score in there.
We only have 6 questions, so David, you
Okay.
got to make up some
All
time
right,
here
all right,
because
bring it.
Bill
Here we
is
go.
Bill's on top of you right now. All right. Josh Stein, favorability rating has increased or decreased since April of
Oh, man.
2016. Now remember, Josh Stein is the Democrat nominee for governor, but also has been an attorney general, and I think he was a Senate before. So Josh Stein, favorability rating has increased or decreased since April of 2016. Bill.
I'm going to have to say this increased. Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Increased. All right. We got Bill on the
Favorability.
Yeah.
More people like it.
favorability
That's what I'm
rating
gonna say
has
it went up.
Okay, it's gone up.
I would agree.
Both. Ding, ding, ding. Now, for a bonus point, since you both got a point, do you want to guess what his favorability rating is right now?
I'd probably put it at, I'd say 54%.
Okay.
I'm
Bill.
going to go with 59.
Oh, both of you terribly off, but David comes in with the bonus. It's at 26%.
His favorability rating is
That's
only
what it says.
26%.
Yeah.
Well, but I guess my curiosity would be how many people don't have no
Yeah,
opinion
like they don't know.
whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. So, David, you're up to 3, and Bill, you're at 4. We got a game here. We got a game.
I do my best work under pressure.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is a presidential preference question. So, poll respondents were asked, and if the election for president were being held today, for whom would you vote between Donald Trump, Republican Joe Biden? Republican Joe Biden. But let me start over. Who would you vote between Donald Trump, who's a Republican, Joe Biden, Democrat, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., We the People Party, Jill Stein, Green Party, Charles Foley, and Libertarian Party, whatever. Okay.
No.
So, anyways, 6 months out from the election, here we go. So, who would you vote between Trump, Biden, and Kennedy? And my question to you, let's see, this would go back to Bill. How many people said that they would vote for Trump? What percentage of voters?
30.
This is
David.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, same poll.
Uh,
How many
I would
people said they'd vote
say-
for Trump?
I'd say 50%.
You guys, it's a push. It's actually 40%.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah, so you
Wow.
both are equal distance away.
So no points awarded on that.
No
one.
points awarded on
Okay.
that one, but then let's do this. How many of those same respondents, percentage-wise, David, we'll go with you first this time, said they would vote for Biden? Of North
Um,
Carolinians in this poll, how many percent said they would vote for Biden?
I would say 37%.
Bill, what do you think?
I'm going to say 45.
Oh, and David with the win there. 35%.
Aha!
Boys, we have a tie. We have a tie.
Woohoo.
All right. Let's see. The last question that we have on the poll. This is for all the marbles.
This
Okay.
And
is, yeah,
possibly
this feels
a
important.
Sawyer,
Yeah.
Senate for Sawyer for Senate t-shirt. And let's see, I went with you first, so Bill's first this time. In March of 2023, Lieutenant Robinson was polled at 44% over Stein at 39%. In this poll, do you think that number stayed the same or has changed? Here, let me do it again. In March of 2023, Governor Robinson was polled at 44% over Stein at 39%. In this poll, do you think that number stayed the same or has it changed? Bill.
I believe that it has changed.
Okay. We got it changed. Do you think it stayed the same or do you think it's changed? Now, what do you do here? Because if you say change, then it's a push and we have to go to a tie break.
I think
But if you-
changed. Strategically speaking, changed.
Changed. Don't, because you don't want the win.
Because I
You
don't want to
the
lose.
loss.
I don't want the loss.
Correct. You both are correct. It has changed, but for bonus points,
30 seconds.
Is Robinson still over Stein or is
Yes.
Stein over Robinson?
Robinson is over Stein.
And what do you think?
I'm going to
Bill?
say the opposite.
For the win, Bill.
Let's go.
Wow.
Bill for the win.
Wow. No gloating. We got to go to a
Bill
break.
for the win.
There's more We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, you may be asking yourself, how long can the nice weather, the low humidity, hang around? And the answer is for a couple of more days. Sunshine, low humidity, and upper 70s to enjoy for this afternoon. A clear sky tonight as most of us fall back into the low 50s, especially around the farms and outlying spots. Some of those folks could even see upper 40s by Saturday morning. Sunshine and warming up to 80 for our Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Get into Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
At the Chevrolet store, truck season continues. What's that mean? It means deep discounts, huge selection on Silverados, Colorados. I tell you, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, we've got the four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, crew cabs, double cabs, regular cabs, any color, any style. You come pick it out today. Again, deep discounts during truck season. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Right now, Sharp's Lawn Equipment is offering 0% financing up to $800 rebates and Toro Time Cutter mowers as low as $29.99. Visit Sharp's Lawn Equipment in Statesville or visit us at sharpslawn.com.
Hi, this is Andy with Lake Mountain Coffee, located at 110 West Broad Street in Statesville. Many of you probably know us from our large coffee house downtown, but did you know we're also the owners of Statesville's first and only coffee roasting facility? We purchase coffee beans from around the world, bring them right here to Statesville, roast them in our facility for our customers around the region. Why would you go to a grocery store, purchase old coffee beans off the shelf, or any other source where you can have fresh roasted beans at Lake Mountain Coffee, 131 West Broad Street in Statesville.
Tilly Harley-Davidson is simply the best, and their service department is second to none. Right now, 1K, 5K, and 10K M8 service is only $351.25 plus tax, including SIN 3 and heavy gear oil. Stop by to schedule your next service or online at TillyHD.com. Be road ready with Tilly of Statesville.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Nordstrom customers are really loyal, and that's the problem. The chain's loyalty members took advantage of credit card points, leading to discounts on future purchases far more than Nordstrom expected in the just-finished quarter. That helped lead to a bigger-than-forecast loss, even as customers bought more stuff. The stock initially fell following that, but now it's rebounding as traders turn their attention to far stronger-than-forecast sales at the discount Nordstrom Rack. Shares up 5%. The exec credited with revitalizing Mattel's Barbie brand is now CEO at The Gap, and the early take on that is that it's working. The company's ads embracing 90s nostalgia and its push to have celebrities wearing Gap clothes show up at red carpet events, including this month's Met Gala, have helped make the company look trendy and help push sales at all Gap brands, including Old Navy, Banana Republic, and Athleta, past expectations. Shares up 22%. Wall Street indexes split. Dow rising 0.1%, NASDAQ losing more than 1%, S&P down 0.5%. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Now more We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. Like to be part of the show, 844-STUDIO-4. We are still streaming live on the WSIC News app. Licking my wounds through the break. Well done, Bill. But to be fair, Bill, I threw it because I didn't want the shirt.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I didn't want the shirt.
I mean, okay. Sore loser, my friend.
Not sore loser. Bill did tremendous.
He did do tremendous, but I was talking about the hate speech that you're going on the poll. I mean, you should have heard him during the break. He was mumbling under his breath about, to be fair, I really don't think that poll has any validity.
There's some suspect things going on.
Like, okay, really? You don't think so? You don't
there's
think
some suspect things going on.
All right. Well, they said that they have
fake news, fake polls, fake news. I don't know, just anecdotally speaking, and again, we do this all the time, right? We have a feeling about an election, right? Based off of who we talk to, and it's people in our sphere, in our bubble, and things, what we see on the news, and things like that. But, I think a lot of times, there are just certain things that anecdotally I think just don't add up, right? That Joe Biden would be doing that well in North Carolina surprises me. Yeah. It doesn't ring true to me. But, you never know. It could be the case.
We'll
find out. We'll find out. No, feelings. Yeah, feelings over facts, right?
I get in trouble for that often because I'll sit there and pontificate as us electeds do because we apparently think that we know everything, which actually I do not. But I will say, well, it just doesn't feel right. Like it didn't. And they'll go, well, Vicky, where's your facts? Like the polling says this, and you're right. I mean, the polling is important, but it is just a snapshot in time to kind of see. Something that was very worrisome about some of the crosstabs I was just reading in this poll is that Republicans may be having an issue, especially at the top of the ticket, with educated white females that, when I say educated, I'm meaning that they have a 4-year degree. Right. That doesn't mean that, one or the other is good or bad. It's just how they, identify as themselves. And it looks like we really are having an issue with my demographic, me.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem. My people are the problem. I blame 80s hip hop.
Yes.
I do.
No, don't blame 80s. Don't blame the 80s. That's got nothing to do with why you're messed
But I
up.
mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of women in my age group that I know are conservative, but they are not. They just don't vote that way, or they don't act that way, or there's some kind of trend line going through folks in my demographic that just doesn't align with what I'm doing.
Well, I think that I would never presume to mansplain to you or to speak your mind or any
It's
of the
okay.
other, any of those things that
People-
anything I'm going to be accused of doing by
Oh my
saying
gosh.
this.
I got to tell you a story about that later.
But I think that Republicans, honestly, since the election of Trump, have had a problem with that demographic because, and if you look at if you look at the polls and you look at the news stories, something like that, these college educated women, a lot, some of them tend liberal anyway,
Right.
but on, those that are Republicans, probably tend a little more moderate in many instances. And, the things that Trump says, said about women, tweeted about women,
Yeah.
and the reputation that he brought to the table, probably influenced that.
Yeah.
I would think, and the mean tweets and things like that
Which I
probably
miss.
influenced that. And
Yeah.
and that perception is baked at this point. I don't think you're going to see a situation where all of a sudden these women, if they're going to vote for Trump, that they're going to come back and all of a sudden be okay with him.
Right.
I think it's going to be more like, look, I don't like any of these,
Mhm.
but Joe Biden scares me, the economy, the inflation, and everything like
Mhm.
that. What he's been doing, I don't agree with that. Though, say what you want about Trump, mean tweeting back when he was president, the
Yeah.
economy was good, business
Yeah.
was booming, people were doing well,
Mhm.
unemployment was down, interest rates were down, mortgage rates were down, everything was going well.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of times people will go back to voting their pocketbooks in instances like that.
Right.
And I think it'll trend a little bit more back to the way it was in 2000. Again, right now, if I were
Right.
to guess, we'll trend a little more back to the way it was in 2016, where you had polarizing candidates that nobody really was thrilled
Yeah.
with, and were willing to take a chance. And I think they're willing to. I think they'll go back to Trump. If they do, it will be because of economic concerns. I think.
Yeah, well, I can only assume that the Stein campaign absolutely understands the um, in exposing the flank of us in that demographic. Because this morning alone, I was watching a local TV station out of Charlotte as the background when I was working. Yes, I do work, but when I was working, and I maybe 5 times I saw the TV commercial about his advocacy for the rape kit victim backlog. And I will give a big shout out to the General Assembly, actually Senator Danny Britt and Senator Warren Daniel, who really spearheaded that. But that's what happens in Raleigh. Something happens and everybody takes credit for it.
Oh, yeah.
And something bad happens, nobody does. It's so interesting how that kind of works out. But it's starting to plant that seed of Stein good for women, Stein helps women, and then here it comes. This is the good part of it, right? And then the attacks are getting ready to happen.
Well, then, and yes, and it would be, Stein takes care of women, Stein defends women, Stein, protects women, everything like that, respects women, all those kind of things. And then, yes, that's the positive. What will come back is the videos and the Facebook posts and things like that that are out there for the lieutenant governor right now that are highly problematic.
Yeah.
And so those will be coming. There will be I think I saw one thing that predicted this to be the most expensive governor's race this cycle time, because, Democrats are coming all in. The money from out of state is flooding into Josh Stein, flooding into these C4s that are going to just be, it's going to be insane. The amount of money that is spent on negative ads in North Carolina this cycle.
Oh gosh, the negative ads are coming. I wonder when that starts.
Oh, it's good. Honestly, I think you'll probably see those things start probably around August, September. Get people out of summer, and then you'll see. But good news locally. Well, it depends on, I guess, your perspective. In something that we thought would a few years ago seemed absolutely impossible. It looks like Charlotte has negotiated a deal to purchase the Norfolk Southern backup line that runs all the way up to Lake Norman area for a potential light rail.
Yeah, possibly so. This is something that I'm glad that is now being spoken about. Mayor Lyles was very kind and reached out and let me know a while ago that she had worked very diligently, her and her team had worked diligently with Norfolk Southern in order to gain access to that red line. The new transit plan, though, comes at an expense of a deletion of a light rail in south of like the east-west
Mhm.
of going across Mecklenburg County, and
Up
there
towards
are
Matthews, right?
and they are not very happy about that.
Yeah, I saw the article where it was going to be that if the light rail was nixed going to them, then the support for the additional cent sales tax that's intended to fund this would be going away.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see because
Well, I mean-
that has to go to the ballot, right? That's that sales tax has to go to the ballot for the people to vote on.
Yeah, but it has to go through the General Assembly for that to be on the ballot.
That's right. You all have to let them put that on the ballot. So talk to me a little bit about that because it seems to me that if a local government is looking to impose an additional cent on a sales tax and they say we will put it on the ballot for the local people to vote, why is it necessary for the General Assembly to grant that permission?
Well, we are a Dillon rule state, which means that municipalities are the creation of us. And so, in fact, we're very powerful as the state. I mean, the federal government's supposed to be serving at our pleasure, and also, but the municipalities definitely do. And in order to have uniformity across the state, there's put a cap on how much sales tax that you can actually collect. And there's a thought, too, that as we continue to lower the personal income tax, right, which we continue to do, that you're going to have to leave room in a sales tax, kind of like a Florida model, right, or Tennessee model, where it's a tax based on consumption instead of what you make, which I actually really think is smart. And so the idea is that if you keep on allowing these municipalities to get over and over and over their skis on asking and creating more taxes at the local level, then you're going to leave less for us to be able to compete on a national level with the personal income tax and getting it down to zero.
Gotcha. And also, I mean, an additional sales tax it's passed on to consumers. It is passed on to businesses, and so there's an economic development argument, I guess, that you could make there. But this is one of those instances where I get it that the need for uniformity and things like that, but also from a local standpoint, if it goes to a referendum,
right, let
the people decide.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're willing to pay that locally, because it is a local tax, nobody else pays it except the people who live there. If they're willing to pay that, then let them pay that. If they're willing to do it, my personal opinion.
Speaking as a former municipal governor,
well, let's be fair. I think anybody who listens to this show with any routine knows my qualms with municipal governments right now in multiple different instances. And love the people, but the process is annoying right now.
True.
But I do think that. But I'm thinking of less as a municipal official, more as a member of a locality, because there are certain things that I am willing to say, yeah, I'll pay an additional cent on, my food at the grocery store or whatever like that for this program or this service. But that's truly democratic, right? I am voluntarily saying I will pay that based off of my consumption, right? Where I get irritated is when you keep taking my income and I have no say in it, right? At least the sales tax, I have a say in what, and if it's from a referendum, I have a say in where it goes.
Right. That's exactly a fair point. Going back to that whole thought about people will pay for transportation. They just will. They want to get somewhere faster. And you know who really wants to get somewhere faster? My demographic.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we're the ones who are in traffic every day with kids and using the roads. I used to call it the Lululemon 500. Like
Lululemon
500, because you make the same track every day to school, to home, and you're always stuck in traffic. And I mean, I really think that Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson should truly focus on transportation. That may be one of the only ways he's going to be able to kind of pry away and fill this hole that he has with my demographic.
Well, the good thing is with transportation is it knows no party affiliation.
Right.
Everybody wants better roads. Everybody wants to make it easier
Only
to get
fight in
somewhere.
transportation is concrete versus asphalt.
Concrete versus asphalt. You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
We'll return with more of NC Senator Vicky Sawyer, and We're Just Saying after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, you may be asking yourself, how long can the nice weather, the low humidity, hang around? And the answer is for a couple of more days. Sunshine, low humidity, and upper 70s to enjoy for this afternoon. A clear sky tonight as most of us fall back into the low 50s, especially around the farms and outlying spots. Some of those folks could even see upper 40s by Saturday morning. Sunshine and warming up to 80 for our Saturday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Alabama's Austin Bohannon plays a local concert tour beginning Thursday with Langtree Live in Mooresville on May 30th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert powered by Waves Entertainment beginning at 7. Bohannon then plays Friday on the Birkdale Village stage with the Live Under the Oaks concert series. Back-to-back free music beginning on Thursday at Langtree in Mooresville and then Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Blankets and chairs are welcome for both Austin Bohannon shows. The Kane Center for the Arts welcomes Philip Hamrick on Friday for his album release celebration. The singer-songwriter from Mooresville releases his first solo album as an independent artist with The Tunnel Club. Hamrick's personal stories are delivered through vocals and acoustics. Doors open at 7 p.m. with Hamrick's The Tunnel Club album release celebration at 8 p.m. on Friday. For tickets, more information on this show and many other programs, visit kanearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks has expanded to Broad Street and Main Street, and this Saturday serves up gourmet fare. Bring chairs, bring friends, and delight in over 15 food trucks from around the area. Listen to live music from Billy Jones in the Pocket, stroll the streets, and shop. Mooresville's Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. on Saturday. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first practice night is on Tuesday, June 4th, with the 10-week series opening night race on June 10th. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with NC Senator Vicky Sawyer at 844-STUDIO-4. It's We're Just Saying on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. Like to be part of our show, 844-STUDIO-4. We are still streaming live on the WSIC News app. So, it wouldn't be a show if every other week we weren't talking about election lawsuits,
or if random legislators text us during the radio show and tell us how we're wrong.
Yes, well, that's true. But
this is the second week in a row we've gotten some clapback already.
Well, we have the good Senator Perry, who is a friend of used to be a friend of the show, but lately with all the things we're wrong about.
Yeah. See, last week we got berated over the SAVE Act.
Yes.
Which, in fairness. Remember the SAVE Act is
I do remember.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
I was told that I was completely wrong in how I described it and what impact it would have and what it would do.
I'm going to say I listened back to the show about that part, and I think that's a mischaracterization of what we said.
I obviously would agree.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I would obviously agree. So I'm saying this on the airwaves because I'm afraid to tell that person to his face, but I will absolutely talk to it over the airwaves when I know that he's listening. David, I support you, and I think that you did not say what he said you said.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And I just saw the phone ring. I guarantee you that's him.
Is it? Okay,
if it's him,
come
that's
on.
going to be funny.
Okay.
But it would not be a election or a this time of the year without more election lawsuits.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so the North Carolina Supreme Court, I believe, has gotten a couple, or there's been a request that the Supreme Court here basically fast track 2 election cases.
Yeah. So we knew that assumed that it would go to court, but there was a bill that we had passed and was to kind of take the Board of Elections and make it a nonpartisan where it was being equal representation on the board. And Governor Cooper said, no, that is specifically the duty of the governor to appoint the Board of Elections. And what we know is that the board basically will be a Democrat led and run, or whomever is in the governorship will have that majority of the board appointing to their party. I said that a really long way. But so, of course, that is going to be in the court. And we, as the General Assembly, asked it to go fast track to the Supreme Court because we have that. Sure.
Yeah, we do actually have a caller. We will go to the phone. Jason is on the line with us. Welcome to We're Just Saying with Senator Sawyer.
We didn't tell Bill.
Jason, are you on?
We've gotten rusty.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, Jason, are you on with us?
Yeah, it's a sick and tired patriot.
Oh,
Hey,
sir.
sick and tired. How you doing, buddy?
Hi.
Hey, how y'all doing today? Hey,
Doing
thanks
good.
for taking my call. Yeah, I heard y'all talking about the taxes, the property taxes. I think it was the sales tax. I was like, this is my cue. But yeah, I mean, I know a couple situations that's going on right now. That's people's had their properties foreclosed on just because of the tough times they've gone through in the past years, of losing loved ones, and their land has been put up and is repossessed or whatever you call that. I think that's a sad situation. That when you look at our Constitution, it says that is an unconstitutional act. Where it looks like, and I don't know if there's any. I know there's 700 laws that y'all getting ready to try to go through. But is anybody trying to fix this situation where in these times, especially the trial that we've been through over the past 5 years, people will be able to keep the property, maybe tax insurance instead of personal property. That way you're also getting a true value of the property.
Yeah.
By being oversighted by an insurance company. Because I feel like this property taxes has gotten way out of hand and it's being used as a tool. I mean, it's actually been coined by these realtors that now hold offices. Even here in Iredell County, we've got realtors holding offices that's making these decisions, and to me, that's not a good situation right there in itself. Is you take Trump when he was in office, he didn't take a paycheck because he went by the Constitution and did what's right. He wasn't looking to fatten his wallet while he was in there. He was looking to work for the country.
Yeah.
But anyway, they've even coined it as these attorneys as stealing the property. I mean, that's coined. That's even on that little old ad there on Facebook you watch. There needs to be some laws put toward that if that helps.
Yeah,
absolutely.
understand.
Thanks for the call, sick and tired. We hope you have a great weekend, buddy.
I think that would get some votes.
Yes, sir.
I think that would get you some votes.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Y'all have a good week.
Yes, sir.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call.
It is going to be a beautiful weekend.
It absolutely is going to be fantastic. But Signard raises a good point. We experienced it here in Iredell County, right? I mean, when we market more market based property tax increase than years past, some people as high as 70 to 80% of increase in their property taxes. Most of those I think have just now started hitting my mortgage payment, jumped a good little bit after the start of the year. So I mean, I know that I think it's one of the things that it's that delicate balance between the ability to collect tax to run the essential government and everything like that, and when it's getting highly problematic for people, especially people with we around here especially, we have a lot of people, farmers and people like that who have a ton of land, right? And there are ag exemptions you can get, but when that kind of price increase hits, it can be a real hit to the wallet, especially if you're already struggling like many of our dairy farmers are in Iredell County right now.
Yeah. So I have a friend who works for a local municipal government, and he told me, he said, I always want to work under a liberal board and I want to live under a conservative one. And I understand because I've seen now that Mecklenburg County was just passing their idea about what their budget and how they were going to spend, and they're having to pull like millions of dollars in reserves in order to be able to make and meet their budget without having to raise taxes again. And thankfully, at least in Iredell County, I'm not a fan of taxes and paying more, but at least in Iredell County they actually cut the taxes. We just have this thing where people are moving in and our property is just getting more valuable. And if you're going to have to get taxed on that, then that's just that's how it's been working out. I mean, I don't know that I would sell my house for the tax rate that is now assessed to it.
Yeah, I would say
Would you?
no. I mean,
I mean,
what mine's
it's
been assessed
lower.
at, yeah, I mean, it's technically considered more market based, but no, I mean, my house would, if I put it on the market today,
Yeah.
notwithstanding interest rates and things like that, it would definitely sell more than
You
what the
know what?
tax value
You
is.
know what? The one tax that really chaps me is business personal property tax. So I buy, let's say, I don't know, all the furniture in my office. Every year, I have to list that same furniture every year and pay a tax on that furniture. Now, think about this. If you're a large corporation, then you're doing,
Why would you pay a tax on
you have to,
you
I mean,
pay you already pay a sales tax on it when
I
you
know,
buy it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is what chaps me. Businesses have to pay business personal property tax. You have to list it every year. You have to pay every year. If you sell something, you take it off. Now, I have a small office, so it's not like onersome for me. But could you imagine if you had a manufacturing company
Oh
with
gosh.
tons of equipment, and then you have to pay taxes on that equipment year after year after year, and it's the same equipment.
Yeah.
It's
And again, now
terrible.
I believe they're able to claim it in depreciation, but still the point stands, right?
Right.
I mean, you're simply paying additional tax on equipment
To
you've already
personal
bought
property. Yeah.
calling it personal property when it is for
Right.
the business,
Right.
right?
Right. You can depreciate that tax on your on your tax returns, but your local Iredell County or Mecklenburg County is the one who's getting that business personal property tax.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's the one that gets me each and every time. I just
Why don't you do
I'd
something
be
about that?
I'd begrudgingly fill out that form every year and I send it in and then I, you know,
Then you say
think
think bad thoughts, say some
Yeah.
bad words, and then move
Yeah.
on with your life.
Yeah.
Speaking of
That's it.
bad thoughts and bad
Oh,
words, it's time for
gosh.
Rated X.
Oh, Rated X. Okay, so my Twitter is literally trash right now. It is like I don't even want to open it anymore. There's, when I was a kid and still pudgy, but a pudgy sixth grader, with buck teeth and a crew cut, I definitely got picked on. And I thought maybe that would be the end once I lost the pudge and the crew cut and the got braces. But no, no, no. At 48 years old, I still get bullied.
Still get
I guess
bullied.
that's what's just going to happen.
It's just and now it's just all online. It's
No,
in your face.
Bullies be bullying, man.
Exactly.
All right.
Who was mean to you this week?
Well, it's fine. So I am the co-chair of the Arts and Council on Arts and Arts Education.
Okay.
So it's a bipartisan effort. It's a group of legislators who support arts in our community, in which I do. And so there was a great post and talk about, and a picture of me, and I'm talking in front of the Arts North Carolina folks at the General Assembly. So just want to let everybody know that love to actively participate in our local chambers of commerce with arts, and we deeply appreciate the significant impact the arts have on our communities. Yay.
Yay. And someone found something to yell at you about from that?
Always. There's the first one. Traffic on 150 gets worse every day.
Okay.
Okay. I drive it.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
yeah,
Yeah.
we know, and there's a widening, pretty much in process right now
Yeah.
in funds.
Yeah. Like,
Good Lord. Did they have a Ukrainian flag?
No,
Okay.
no. Not a Ukrainian flag. Nope, not a bit.
Okay.
So yeah, just people are just Twitter is trash right now.
It is. Well,
It's just
trash.
trash.
It's been trash for a while.
Yeah.
If we're going to be open and honest, but I mean, it's like, and it's just funny that people will. I mean, it's like, congrats on your internet points, right? You brought up 150 again, and it's just like, yeah, we know traffic's awful.
I know.
Traffic's awful.
Like I'm not doing something.
Yeah.
Like I'm just sitting there in Raleigh going,
Yeah. Well,
how can I make the people who I represent be angry?
How
and
can I
mean?
make more people drive?
How can I make the evil people mean? Okay, sorry.
Well, and with that,
Yes.
thanks everybody for listening to the show. Everybody have a safe and happy weekend. It's going to be beautiful. Thanks for listening to We're Just Saying.